One more clap for my man Stan, y'all. Let me give y'all a little feedback on my man Stan. Me and Stan, we met each other where we reunited back with each other in Atlanta. Stan is doing this thing in Atlanta in a heavy way, as far as with his books, his internet show, and I called him up when I was shooting the movie Recognized, because I felt like no one in Atlanta could probably really bring that character that I needed as Roy, but Stan. And Stan a good dude. He came, I didn't even give him a script, because I kind of already knew from just reading the book what kind of life he came from. So I already had an idea that he could pull that character off. Came, nailed it. I just told him one time what the scene was about. Do what you do, Stan. Stan killed the whole scene. So from that day on, we bonded even more tight. So let's give you a little feedback about me. From Washington, D.C., a lot of people know. I'm also happy to see. I also got a lot of my Lawton family in here. You know, I was a young man who lived in the streets of D.C., Southeast coming up. Did a lot of nonsense things. But I said when I got out of Lawton, by doing 10 years of Lawton, I said when I got out, I was going to do something positive. I was going to learn how to make money, just like I did when I was doing it in a negative way, but doing it in a positive way. But this time, helping the youth in the streets to kind of follow their dreams. So what I did was, I packed up and I left. Packed up and left, moved to Atlanta. Only had like $2,700 in my pocket, living on a blow-up mattress. But you know, everybody kept telling me in DC, man, what you moving to Atlanta for? Ain't nobody down there but gays and hot niggas. So you know me, I'm like, hey, that's on them. But I got another vision to do something. God put me on another vision. So I went down, prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I ain't have a clue what I was gonna do. But I knew I wasn't gonna do nothing negative. So what I did was like, man, I started with the stand-up comedy. I ended up leaving from doing comedy in DC at the Mad Chef Cafe on Central Avenue to going to Atlanta and doing shows in Vegas with me and my little man Kevin Hart. A lot of these dudes that helped in the game. I put them in front of me. But after the years went past, I kept saying, you know what? It's time for me to stop helping a lot of people, start helping myself. So then it was my time. I've been trying to do films in Atlanta for like 7 years. But when you keep believing in God and putting Him first, and no matter what, and how hard things get. See, let me tell y'all something about God right quick. God wants soldiers. He don't really want no crybabies. He wants soldiers. He wants someone, man, that when you ask, He's never gonna give it to you right then, because you have to show your faith that you believe in Him. That no matter what, even if it takes you where you get all the way down your back on the ground, you still gotta have that one hand on your body up saying, man, God, I still believe you. Yes. And that's what I was doing. So after being in Atlanta for 7 years and trying to do films, and everybody know me in Atlanta, and I still never did one, and I'm doing films in LA, and I'm coming back, I'm trying to do it, just wasn't my time. So I still never stopped believing. Until this year, well, the beginning of last year, I dropped my first movie, Recognized. And if you look on the internet, I tried to do the movie in 2005. So when it finally came about, I kept asking God, like, man, God, I'm being humble. Like, what's going on, man? I know I can do this because you're showing me the vision, man, but things are just not adding up right. So, man, help me. But I'm going to still keep believing in you. But like they say, 7 is God's number. Change. So after all the grind I've been doing for 7 years, man, and never get nowhere, on the 7th year I did the film, let me tell you what God did for me with the movie. Everybody who was doubting, and even staying and saying, because I brought everybody in my building, in my office, I said, look, this is what's going to happen. But to be honest with you, me, I ain't had no damn idea it was going to happen. But I was just talking. I I was just speaking. And till this day, I dropped this movie last year. And to me, I used to always run around telling people that's not even my best work. But then I thought about it. Anything God gives you is the best. So I had to stop saying it. Because this movie right here, that it only took me like $2,000 to do, is the #1 independent movie on the streets. And not just to say, not just the independent movie on the streets, but you're looking at history, because I am the first black, young, independent filmmaker to take an unknown cast from off the streets. Nobody never knew. And we in Redbox, and we still #1 over Django. So that's what happens when you have God in your life and you truly believe, and when people laugh at you, because your visions is what you're doing. Staying until you, man, I work 24/7. I work 24/7, man, 7 days a week, man. I sacrifice everything from leaving my kids and coming, going to Atlanta. But I believe I had to make a new way, because if I stay here in DC, I'd probably be dead or back in jail. So I'm just telling y'all, whatever dreams y'all had, whatever visions y'all had, please keep believing, keep praying constantly. Take time out to fast, because you got to show him you willing to, man, sacrifice of what you crave for every day. And he will bless you, man, because you're looking at 2 people doing it, man. 2 people that's in another whole city who didn't know nobody, who's doing bigger things that people have been born and raised in. And that's me and my main man, Stan Long, man. So please give it up for him. What y'all seeing right here is real dudes out of Washington, D.C. Real dudes from the streets of Washington, D.C., man, who have changed their life, man, from a negative era all the way down to a positive era. That's why I named my company Hood Stars, because, man, I'm a star in my hood. I'm out here for, man, the lost out here. So, man, take them and direct them in another path in life, man. That's what I'm out here for. Everything I'm doing right now, man, it's bigger than this. I'm just being used for the lost in the streets. But what I want, I tell my cousins every day, what I want ain't of this world. It's what I want. So the money, the fame, the women, all that can go, man, to the left, man. I'm good as long as I can get what I want on my next life. So we're going to sit back, man, and we're going to take time out, man. So enjoy yourself, man, all right?
I'm sure. How's everybody doing? I would definitely like to thank everybody for coming out. I'd love to look out here and see you guys. I know you could have been somewhere else, but say something just now. To piggyback off of what Terry said, we are definitely blessed to be here. This is a big time blessing for me. This is a life changer. My book was actually dropped August, 3 years ago, in August, and here I stand 3 years later doing a relaunch. And a lot of people didn't know I had a book because I lost vision. But what I'm telling you is God does have a purpose and a plan for everybody, whether you believe it or not. I talked to my homeboy Gator earlier today about this. God had a plan for my life, and it wasn't to die, it wasn't to go to penitentiary. And so I'm here standing before you by the grace of God just to say that God is great. He's doing some amazing things in my life that I can't even begin to tell you. It'll be a long time sitting here telling you, but I met Terry in Atlanta. We got reacquainted, like he said, and when I met Terry was doing some big things, and he showed me how big it was and how possible it was for somebody like myself. So here I stand doing something just as big, or trying to emulate what this young man is doing, because when I tell you 24/7 he grinds, I don't think it's 24, it's more like 37 hours. He invent time. Terry go to sleep and wake up thinking about how he gonna get it and what's going on. We had a mishap at one of his situations in Atlanta involved and recognized the film. And it didn't go the way he had planned it to go. And when I called him, I thought that I would console him and be like, oh man, it's all good, don't trip. And he said, nah man, homie, I just got a fast mode. He said, I got a fast mode. I mean, y'all know when you fast, you just starve your flesh so your spirit can step up. So when you get into this type of ground, when you learn nothing can't stop you when God is in you and you know what you possess, you God body. Can't nothing out here hold you back, not a hater big enough. So here we go to show you guys the proof and living proof that we stand here before you, that anybody can have a dream and can make that dream come true. And so me, myself, I'm turning books into films, I'm doing reality shows, I'm doing television series, I'm doing a whole lot of things, restaurants and all these things coming up that you guys may not know about. So these are the things that stand long and projected only through the strength of God. So don't ever think when you see me on Facebook and you see me on Twitter and I'm shouting out doing this and that God ain't behind me, because that's my driving force. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna let you guys listen to a little bit of music and we're gonna get into some book signing and I'll get right back to you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this program and thanks again for coming out.
I swear I've been at this for a while. Celebrate, Jones witness my sounds. You shake me up, lift it up on the ground. I search deep, music is what I found. I know I will be great one day. I'm waiting patiently, I know my time will come. I know my time will come. It takes time, continuation, persistence. I'm driving to be the best I can, to be successful, proving all wrong, that's the plan. To sound my biggest haters who I know the one thing. I gotta make it to the top, yeah, I know I am. I'm driving to be the best I can, to be successful, proving all wrong, that's the plan. Turn my biggest haters so I know one thing. I gotta make it to the top, yeah, I know I am. When I thought I couldn't go on no more, I turned to family, behind my back, who I had to give, couldn't give it back.
Wait, acapella. Let's do the acapella.
Yeah, back that up, man. Real good.
Baby, yeah, yeah. Oh, have I mentioned lately that I love you? I love you. You don't know how many times on the day I think of you. I think of you. And I want you to know that I think our love together is wonderful, baby. Everything I do each and every day is all about loving you. Everything I do each and every day is all about loving you.
Thank you.
Keep this thing rolling. Come to the stage. Please give me your undivided attention and respect. my main man, Jay Bill.
How y'all feeling tonight? Man, I just want to thank Carla for inviting me out here to do this for y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoy it. I'm about to give y'all some acoustic music. And the song is called She Like the Way I Do It. Self-explanatory, you know?
Well said.
Oh yeah. Mr. Kush on the guitar. I said Kush. I'm back for Kush. Make a body scream my name.
Yes.
Every time I try to leave her alone, she said, boy, please stay. Cause I know she likes me. From my fake cap right down to my Nikes. And she's so fine, her body soft just like I'm waiting on that phone call. And she said, boy, won't you come over? Cause she like the way I do it. When I put it on her, every time I take her down, she said, boy, do what you wanna. And when she's all alone, she called me to stay the night. I hit her favorite spot, cause I know that's what she like. And she said, she like the way I do it. And she said, she like the way I do it. And she said, hey. She should leave me alone. I don't think she could. Cause when my lips touch hers, it feels so damn good. And I know she likes me. From her feet right down to my Nikes. And she's so fine, her body's soft just like ice cream. That phone call, and she said, boy, won't you come over? Cause she like the way I do it. When I put it on her, every time I take it down, she said, boy, do what you want. And when she's all alone, she called me to stay the night. I hit her favorite spot, cause I know that's what she like. And she said, she like the way I do it. And she said, she like the way I do it. And she said, she like the way I do it. And she said, she can't get enough of my love. I got her addicted. She's the only girl I really want. She never kissed with. Can't no other man could feel the way I do. Cause when I do my thing, I make her say, ooh, ooh. Cause she like the way I do it. When I put it on her, every time I take it down, she said, boy, do what you wanna. When she's all alone, she called me to stay the night. I hit her favorite spot, cause I know that's what she like. And she said, hey, and she said, and she said, and she like the way I do it. And she said, hey, she like the way I do it. 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 She like the way Thank you.
I'm sure Carla made sure that you purchased the book upon entry. So I want to encourage you to read it. Don't skip read it. Read it from beginning to end. This is a great work of art. You know, the best stories that are ever told are the ones of our lives. And fortunately, sometimes there are certain people who are open enough to share. Stan did that with his book. He took us on a phenomenal journey. A journey that you have to read to find out what happened, unless you know him personally. But I'm going to read from a couple of excerpts from some of the final chapters of the book. Starting on page 110. I'm afraid to go outside. There are so many birds, blackbirds, everywhere. The birds rose up and then back to the ground as though they were on a string. They made a loud roar that sounded like a quiet thunder. It scared me. It scared me some more. For some reason, these birds had a presence that you could feel inside. My friend pulled out her camera and snapped a picture. The birds immediately flew into the trees surrounding the graveyard. This was the strangest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. There were so many birds that all the trees turned black. Yo, this was some weird shit. As we walked away, the next thing that happened was totally mind-boggling. They started to do tricks that only trained birds should be able to do. I can't even describe it on paper because it looked like something was commanding these birds. As we got closer to the graveyard, they seemed to fly away. We noticed a huge tree that had the appearance of a giant man in the middle of the graveyard. We realized that all the blackbirds were the base of that tree that piled on top of each other. Now we knew something was strange and very, very different happening here. We slowly walked to the graveyard and visited the grave of my grandmother. We took pictures and stood there about 30 minutes. The birds remained on the tree the entire time. Skipping to page 112. At that time in my life, I was searching for God and trying not to go left. This had become a battle for me. I had been reading on a regular basis, and so I started acquiring many books about God. I decided to go home and try to find out just what birds meant. And for some reason, I picked a book called The Secret Teachings of Jesus. This book explained that birds were a symbol for the Spirit. And that made sense to me. The part that I couldn't figure out was if it was my grandma's spirit or the Spirit of the Most High. But what I did know is that you can't see spirit, or can you? It was a sign that God was trying to identify himself to me. The memory of that day has stayed with me forever. I never really discussed it much, but it had everything to do with me wanting to write a book. And you have to read the remaining pages to figure it all out. Again, my name is Tasha Terry. I'm a spoken word artist, and I just want to say congratulations to Stan. And you know, y'all don't be selfish. Like if you came in here and paid $20 for a book, that was so selfish. Because that book is for you. You need to go back and like spend $20 or $40 more about a couple more books and give them to someone else. Someone whose walk may relate to Stan's walk, or someone whose walk may not. You know what I'm saying? Because what we encompasses in this life is not just for us, but it's for us to help others. And if everyone helps someone else, then eventually the world will get a little bit better for it. Thank you for having me. Good night.
Give it to him one more time, y'all. You're good at reading that, girl. The public school system was really good around here. You're good there. Okay, now, everybody is eating and drinking and relaxing, but what we really do right now is we're about to bring the man to the stage. He's going to sit right here, come up, you can get your book signed. Please, read it. Great book. Tell your friends and tell your friends and tell your friends. Like Dale said, so on and so on and so on and so on. So make sure you give this brother the respect and also keep him encouraged, man, by coming in and giving him some words about what you thought about the book. And I also want to give it up, because Stan's mother and father is here, so please give it up for them. I feel good about saying the mother and the father here, man. So fellas, we gotta keep stepping our game up out here, so please. All right. Everybody, give it up for the man with the God-given talent, for writing books, also directing, also a host of his own internet show, and a brother, man, a young black Afro-American brother who's definitely positive, man, and going in the right direction. And we need more brothers like this for our next generation. So please, to me, everybody here look young. So when I say his name, out of respect, can you please stand? Give it up for Mr. Stan Long, y'all.
Thank y'all once again for coming out. I'd like to say it's a blessing to stand before you guys once again. All of the cast members, all the potential cast members, we doing a show, first of all, you guys, the DMV Life, Go Getters, the DMV Life. We're going to be filming a pilot. Some of it is being filmed today. So if you are a potential cast member, somebody we talked about casting, I need you guys to come in this reserve area right here, because we're going to be filming you guys shortly. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. And I'm going to probably sit down here. I don't really like this up here stuff going on, so I'm probably come down here amongst y'all and get to do the book signing. So you guys bring your books up and I'll sign them right now. Thanks.